Hey everyone, I'm Will Cabral, snowboard expert at Curated.com.
And I'm Mike Layton, snowboard expert with Curated.com.
On this episode of Head to Head, we are pitting the Capita Defenders of Awesome, the DOA, against the Capita Mercury.
We're going to be pitting them against each other in 3 categories: carving, freestyle, and freeride. So you can figure out which board is best for you.
Just so you know, we are not sponsored by any brands.
So let's get it.
Capita claims the Defenders of Awesome is a freestyle true twin board capable of turning the most pee-wee mogul into a kicker.
And the Mercury is a quiver killer all mountain board for the rider looking to maximize every single feature out there.
What'd you think of carving on these boards, Mike?
So, they both feature predominantly camber profiles, more traditional shapes. The DOA is predominantly camber, and then it has a little bit of section of flat to reverse rocker, and then they have their lapel kick on the tip and the tail. The Mercury is a little bit more camber, and it just goes right into the reverse and the lapel, and it has a little bit more of the setback. So for me, I like that little bit more aggressive feel of the Mercury. Once you get it up on edge, it really kind of feels, something you can trust when you get it up on edge. I did find that when you got, at higher speeds, that DOA is really quick edge to edge, but I did find some chatter in it. I didn't have that kind of smoothness that I really felt on the Mercury. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we have a little bit different stiffnesses between these two boards. DOA is the softer board, and I believe it's rated more of a 5 out of 10 flex, and it felt soft to me. Mercury is definitely a stiffer board. It is directional. It's meant to go one way and kind of charge through on those groomers. As we did get up in higher speeds, the chatter was noticeable on the DOA, and the Mercury kind of continued to be more rock solid.
I definitely noticed it. I think for me, if we're just talking purely from turning, it's kind of hard to argue against the Mercury in this case.
Yeah, I mean, the DOA is more of a freestyle focused deck claimed by, Capita. It is the true twin as opposed to the Mercury that's directional and really purpose built to go one way. And it definitely rips the turns better.
All right, so I think we both agree for carving, we're going to take the Merc.
For carving, I'm going to go with the Mercury.
What about in the freestyle world? Obviously, we have the true twin, Trans World Goodwood Award winner, however many times before,
a lot of times
of the DOA for freestyle. We see them everywhere. It's a household name for a reason. It's predictable, it's reliable, it's jibbable, it's jumpable, it's flippable. Whereas I feel like with the Mercury, it does have that half-inch setback. Riding it switch, it's not gonna be as easy as the DOA, but also you're still going to be able to take off and spin switch. But overall, I think the more traditional freestyle shape is going to take that more traditional freestyle role, in my opinion. What about you?
In either of those two categories, but they're clearly designed, with the Mercury, more of that all mountain, more natural freestyle, and then more traditional freestyle, park focused, street focused.
From a more traditional freestyle role for me, I'm going to have to take the DOA over the Mercury.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Capita DOA is a great freestyle board. It's something that's super fun in the park, something that you can take on different jib features, hit jumps. Mercury, maybe not as something you want to go as hard on the jibs with.
What about as we get, outside of groomed terrain and more into the ungroomed and, seeking out all the really fun stuff on the mountain? How do you feel both boards freeride there?
I think that the Mercury is a great freeride board. We got some great mogul runs on both of these boards. I had a lot of fun with the DOA, but I think the Mercury is a little bit more precise, something that you can kind of feel a little bit more stable and trust going through tighter terrain, a little bit more maneuverable on steeper terrain, having a little bit more of that safety net with the Mercury.
I agree with you. I think with the DOA, it's a little bit more playful. If your riding style is a little bit slower and you're kind of like just bopping in and out of trees, playing in some more mellower freeride terrain, I think the DOA could be a great option for you. I will say though, the Mercury is going to float better. So if you're riding some fresh snow, you're seeking that out in the trees, I'm going to grab the Mercury in that case. So I think overall for me, from a Freeride perspective, Mercury.
Yeah, I think that the Capita DOA can definitely live in kind of a resort freeride spectrum there, but the Mercury is something that you could take to the top. You could kind of do a little bit of hike terrain, go to different peaks. It certainly has more of a top end, as you were saying. I'm going to go with the Mercury for freeride.
All right, so you can only have one. What are you going with?
I'm going with the Capita Mercury. That was a board that was just super fun in all situations. For me, I'm not in the terrain park as much, and so the Mercury is kind of an obvious choice for my riding style. I want to go find new terrain, find fresh snow, go through the trees, sometimes look at the resort map and just say, nah, I'm going to go in between those runs. So Mercury is something that I think would really support that.
I think that you brought up a good point with that. As we're getting older, I don't spend as much time in the park as I used to. I think if you're someone that spends a lot of time in the park, more freestyle, and then every once in a while you're going to get outside the park and explore the rest of the mountain, I think the DOA is a great option. But for me, with what I want to do, which is, go hike, find stashes, flashes, side hits, whatever, the Mercury is definitely the board I'm grabbing.
So snowboards work differently for different types of riders. If you need help finding your next snowboard, reach out to either me, Mike, or one of our fellow Curated experts, and we'll be sure to help you out.
And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button to see more content from Curated, and comment below which boards you'd like to see us do head-to-head with next.